Hello everyone, welcome back to day 5 of your journey to handstand, which is officially halfway there, yay! So today I thought I'd give the shoulders and the core a little bit of a break, and we're going to go into some active flexibility training for our lower body, particularly our hamstrings and our quads. Now if you're thinking, okay Sarah, why do I need open hamstrings and quads to do a handstand? For some of you, especially in maybe the wall walks or the L shape that we did yesterday, you might find that it's a little bit hard to get either the legs straight onto the wall or even just to step up because you don't have the range of motion in this kind of forward and backward action, right? So basically, the more open you are, the easier it is going to be to stack within a handstand. So today we will focus on, like I said, the hamstrings and the quads. You will need 2 blocks and a towel or a slider or a sock and a slippy foil. Now, I do want to say, if you've come here from the yoga background, especially following me from yoga, this is not yoga training. This is deep flexibility training. I can't see you and see what's going on, so please take it as easy as you can. Try not to force the body into places that it's not ready to. A little bit of discomfort is obviously expected, but anything sharp is going way too far. So hopefully you've already done the warm-up video. If you haven't, please do that. With flexibility training, it's better to train the body once it is warm. If you have and you're ready to start, please just come onto your mats, onto the length side of the mats. And we're just going to take the legs super nice and wide. We're going to take a big breath up. We're going to stretch all the way up. As you breathe out, circle the arms back. You would have done this on the warm-up, arms forward. And then bring the hands towards the floor and soften the knees a little bit and just give yourself a little bit of a shake from left and right. So just get in a little bit of movement into the hips, into the back of the legs before we kind of stretch them out. So today we will work on active flexibility, which means we are strengthening as well as lengthening. Those all important muscles because, you know, the more control, the better, right? Perfect. So the next time you turn towards one side, let's take it in towards a downward dog. So coming into your downward dog, give yourself a little bit of a shake. So pedal out through the feet. Maybe give the shoulders a little bit of a stretch, especially if you're feeling it from yesterday's little conditioning workout. And then from here, keeping the pelvis nice and square, soften the left knee and take that right leg up towards the sky for me. If you've got a wall behind you, you can actually push the heel into the wall as well. Good. So try not to open that right hip. Keep the right toes pointed down. We're going to work into that left leg. Take an inhale, left heel high. Exhale, heel towards the floor. So just flossing into the backs of that left leg. Big breath in. Big breath out, bringing it down. One more time, inhaling. Exhale, ground through the heel. Draw that right knee in towards your nose and step it in between the hands. Good. Come high up on the fingertips first. Roll the shoulder blades back, chest forward. Push that left heel back. And just give yourself a few little rocks, getting in towards that left thigh. Perfect. And then from here, we're just going to drop the back knee down and tuck the toes. Hands can place onto that right leg. And we're just finding a little bit more range, a little bit more opening into that left thigh. Good. Take one more breath as we're just getting into it. As you breathe out, hands to the floor, tuck the back toes. Left foot's going to step forward and we're going to halfway lift. So straight spine, think deadlift if you're not a yogi. And I want everyone to bring their hands onto the shins. So a lot of the kind of tightness and restriction we feel comes not only from the hamstrings, but it's this whole line that comes from the lower back into the hamstrings and around the glutes, right? So we're going to focus on that posterior tilt here as well. So the movement of the pelvis, if you haven't already guessed, is a big kind of game changer in our handstands. So we're going to inhale, we're going to look forward, stick the booty out. Notice that nice little activation of the hamstrings, especially if you ground through your heels. And as you exhale, push into the shins, round through the spine, tuck the tailbone under, posterior tilt, and you get that nice lower back release. We're going to do that a few more times. The breath in, look forward, lengthen. And the breath out, round and push the shins away. 3 more times. So big breath in, sticking the booty out, feeling that length through the spine and the legs. And the exhale, the curve in, releasing into the lower back. Twice more. Big breath in. The movements can become bigger and bigger as we just grease into this groove. I love that saying. Good. One more time, big breath in. Big breath out. Good. Now as you inhale, look forward. Bend the knees a lot. Let the belly sink in towards the thighs and then let the hands go down. Good. So always keep the belly to thigh connection. Place the hands on the floor, on the shins, on the back of the legs, wherever you are. So keeping that tight ball. Forget about taking the legs straight. Just think about lifting the tailbone up towards the sky and you're going to get that nice little stretch or big stretch. Good. Doesn't matter if you're down here as well, as long as you can feel it. Big breath in. Big breath out. Place the hands onto the ground, step back, downward facing dog. So this is just opening us up so we can get a little bit more into our flexibility. So now we're going to soften the right knee. We're going to take the left leg up high, squaring the hips, left toes point down. Keep that knee soft that we're stabilizing through, and we're going to do 3 heel lift ups. So take an inhale, lift it up. Exhale, right heel down. Twice more, big breath in, we rise. Breath out, heel down. Try and keep the heel and the ankle just moving in one line. So notice if that ankle wants to shift to the inside. Try and keep it nice and straight. Perfect. After your last one, left knee in towards your nose. We step the foot forward. High up on the fingertips, right heel's pushing back. We've got that length through that right hand side. Hands can be onto a blocks. It can be onto a coffee table. Anything that brings the floor closer to you. One big breath. And then as you breathe out, place right knee on the ground, untuck the toes, hands come towards the knees. So just using the weight of the hips here to open up through that right hand side. We will get deeper into these, so again, just take it easy. Good. Take one more breath there. And then as you breathe out, hands to the floor. Right foot's going to step forward. We're going to inhale, halfway lift once more. And now we want to kind of strengthen and lengthen the hamstrings. So something called a yogi deadlift. Hands to the knees. Straight through the spine, big breath in. As you breathe out, bend the knees. Bring it in towards your lowest squat as possible. As you inhale, lift the hips up but keep the belly connected to the thigh like I told you on the first round. Now, push through the heels. Think of growing out from the sit bones. So chest forward, straight spine. We're going to take a breath in, arms come up, like a little reverse deadlift. And we're going to repeat that. So bend the knees, sink it low, in towards a squat. Good. Belly connects to the thigh. We keep that connection as we send the hips up high. Once we've found that length, we're going to grow out. We're going to look forward, straighten through the back, activate through the hamstrings, and rise it on up. 2 more times, super nice and slow, bringing it all the way down. Perfect. Hips high, that connection to the belly of the thigh. Push through the heels, core is in, and we're lifting it up. 1 more time. I love these, and I don't know why. I feel like they make me feel strong. Perfect. Hips high, belly to the thigh. And then inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Congratulations. Shake it out. So the first kind of deep flexibility we're going to do is into our quads and our hip flexors. For that, bring your mat up against a wall and grab a block for me. So we're going to grab a block and we're going to place the block right next to the wall. Perfect. So I'm going to go with my right leg first onto the block and my left leg's coming forward. So if the block is too much, feel free to pad the knee out and just have a pillow next to the wall. I obviously have very open hip flexors, so I will be really close to the wall. You don't have to be as close as me. So again, listen to your bodies. So left foot comes down. Right knee is going to come in towards the wall, she says as she tries to not take her nail varnish off. Perfect. So that knee is pushing against the wall. So make sure it's the skin that's in front of the knee that's on the block and not the actual knee itself pushing down. So first of all, we're just going to come into this position. If you want to place your hand on something for balance or a wall, feel free. And if you feel like the weight is completely on that left foot, I want to push through the left heel. We're going to tuck the pelvis under for this one and try as much as we can to lean ourselves back against the wall. I know, it sucks, right? So take a big breath in. Breathe out to just pulse, release, come down. So it's a little bit less for the thigh, but more for the front leg. And then inhale, we're going to push back up and come back. A few more times. So super nice and slow, bringing it low. And then inhale to bring it up. 1 last time, taking it down. And then slowly take the glutes back towards the heel. If you want to shuffle that left foot in, you can. But from here, I want you to tuck the pelvis under. So that tucking of the pelvis, squeeze the right glute is going to send the hip flexors forward, and that should feel a lot. Hands can be behind the back on a wall for stability. Try and lift the chest up and breathe. I told you it wasn't going to be pretty. Good. Hold in. Breathe for 3. For 2. Try and breathe a little bit more deeply. And 1. We're going to slowly shuffle that left foot forward, and we're going to sink as low as we can in towards the hips. So as you sink, try not to lean in front of that left leg. Try and keep the weight back and chest lifted. Good. Notice if the back foot wants to kind of move to the inside of the mat. Try not to let it. Good. Holding it here. Breathe in. For 3. Nice big belly breaths. For 2, every exhale, see if you can get a little bit more length. And 1, perfect. Hands to the floor. We're going to slowly release. So right foot comes off. Give it a little bit of a shake, I know. And then when you are ready, we're going to go to the opposite side. So left knee comes in. Remember, it's the skin in front of the knee, not on top of the actual kneecap. Right foot comes forward, feet are hip-width distance apart, and we're going to rise on up. Perfect. Tailbone tucked under, so no sexy butts, yeah? Take it out of that lower back. And again, just give me a few pulses, just forward and backwards. Try and keep the spine kind of moving as one, if that makes sense, so we're not leaning into the leg and then pulling back. So it's just the legs doing the work. Amazing. And the next time you come back, hold it there. Right foot can come in a little bit. Tailbone tucked under, glutes are squeezed. And you should be feeling a lot. And again, it doesn't matter if your back's coming towards the wall or you're a little bit more forward. All that matters is you're feeling that release, and it's not a sharp pain. The block doesn't have to be there. You can be on a pillow. The foot doesn't have to be all the way on top of the wall. Good. Take a few more breaths. Keep that left glute squeezing in. And then as you exhale, shuffle that right foot forward. We're going to sink low in towards the hips while keeping the heart on top of that pelvis. Ooh, and we're going to feel it a little bit more. So again, that left foot might have the tendency to lean in towards the right. Try and counteract it so we're nice and square. Think of pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. And again, use the breath. So if the breath is staggered and you've got this tension, the body's not going to give you room because it thinks it's in danger. And I promise you, you're not, as long as you're listening to yourself. Good. Taking one more big breath in. Big breath out. And then slowly release, hands to the floor. Shake it out a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of a wriggle. Congratulations, thighs are completely done. So now we're going to move on in towards our hamstrings and with our lovely tells and our blocks. So what I'm going to do is just roll the mat back so I have a nice kind of length to slide into. Now grab your 2 blocks. I want you to bring your 2 blocks a little bit more than hip distance next to the body, and I want you to step your right foot forward, flex the right toes, and then become aware of the left knee. So keep the left knee kind of in line with the hip. Try not to sink back and toot that right booty out. Hips are super nice and square. Hands can be onto the blocks. So depending on your flexibility, your hands can be on this height, or the lowest height. Now, before we move anywhere, we're going to work with that pelvis tilt one more time. So we inhale, we're going to send the heart forward, stick the booty back, and as you draw that right heel back. You're going to feel a lot more of the stretch. And as you exhale, round through the spine, tuck the pelvis under. Let's go for 3 more of those. So the inhale, we're leaning forward, leading with the heart. We've got that intensity. And the exhale, we round in and bring it down. 2 more. Big breath in, sending it forward, drawing that right heel back, and then exhale to bring it in. 1 more time. Big breath in, come forward. Breath out, push them round. If you feel like you've got more length, feel free to just adjust the block height. And now from here, before we move into anything, those hip flexors that we just stretched, I want to try and strengthen them a little bit now that we have the length into them. So push and round into the block. As you inhale, try and lift that right foot off the ground. and then exhale, bring it down. It's like magic, right? So give me 5 little ups and downs for me. And if you're looking at the leg and you're thinking, why is it not moving, or you're only moving it a little bit, we just need to bring more awareness and kind of mind-body connection there. So even if it looks like it's doing something little, it's still working. Good. For 2, last one, lift it up. Perfect. And 1, hold it there. Stick the glutes out, heart forward. Perfect. So just take a moment there. I want you to soften the right knee a little bit, pull that right heel back, and you can feel that tug of the hamstring. So we're not jamming out in towards this leg. We're keeping that soft bend to just activate the muscle while we're still lengthening it. Perfect. Take 1 more breath. And then slowly, I want you to reach for the toe. If you've got a sock, you're already there. And place your heel on the toe. So we're going to do 5 slides in and out. Now, when we slide out, I don't want you to bring your chest forward. Just slide forward with the foot. So keep little to no weight onto the hands. Keep the chest lifted. Then ground through the heel. Let the leg do the work. Pull that right heel back towards the left knee and pulling it back. Perfect. 4 more. So the breath in, little to no weight. We're sliding it forward. We're finding length. We're keeping the hips square. We're grounding through the heel. We're pulling back. We're finding that active tug to pull that hip back in. 3 more times. Big breath in. We come forward. We're lengthening. We're still sticking the booty out. Good. Ground through the heel. Pull it back in. Feel that activation of the leg. 1 more time. This time we're going to slide out and just hold in towards the spot. Wherever you are, again, keep that right knee a little bit bent and keep it pulling back. So the hamstring, we're stretching into it safely because we're making it active, right? We're not just jamming and trying to lengthen. Hold, belly button in. Try and keep the hands next to the pelvis for 3. For 2. And 1. Slowly bringing it all the way back. Give yourself a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a wriggle. Now, the beauty of that is you just realize that we have 2 legs and we have to do all of that on the left-hand side. So whenever you're ready, hands onto the blocks, left foot comes forward. Flex the toes. So again, hips are square. We're drawing the left hip back, right hip forward, and make sure that right knee is right in line, like a 90-degree angle with that right hip. We're flexing the toes, we're leaning forward on an inhale, we're sticking the booty out. The exhale, tuck the booty under, push and round. A few more times, big breath in, coming forward and lengthen. And then breath out around. Good. So every time you inhale and come forward, again, pull that left heel back, feel that active stretch, and then exhale, take it down. 1 more. So big breath in, come forward, lengthen, hold in it here. The moment of truth is your left leg as good as your right. So push into the blocks, 5 little leg lifts with that left leg, bringing it down. So as you try and do this, the reason that we're doing this is when we're in that L shape on the wall, or when we're kicking up, and I'm telling you, plug the femur bone into the hip socket, this is the muscles that you need to do it. Good. Give me 1 more. If you want to lift up and hold it, why the hell not? And then slowly bring that foot down. Chest forward and lengthening. We're going to go with 5 slides and then a hold. So left leg slides all the way out, keeping the hips square. Try not to lean forward and bend the elbows. Ground into the heel, that slight bend in that left knee, and then pull it back in towards that right knee. 4 more. Slowly bringing it forward, little to no weight in the arms, letting the activeness of the legs pull you back. So if you get this and the legs are strong enough, you can actually go without the arms like I'm doing there. Perfect. And you'll feel that tug of the hamstring in its length, and that's what we need. We need them strong and not just like spaghetti, right? Perfect. Your last slide, you're going to slide all the way down. Keep that pulling back of the heel, the activation, that squaring of the hips, and then hold it there and breathe. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly pulling it all the way back in. Congratulations. Day 5 officially done. You're halfway through. So the main things to take from this session is we not only need to be open because that's better for our handstands, but we need to be able to control the openness. So active flexibility is the one. Remember guys, these 10 days are just an introduction. If you want a full 30-day kind of training plan with me, links below to sign up on my website. It's completely free and you already get a set schedule to help you advance in going upside down. If you have any questions, just holler. The next 5 days will be all about moving away from our friend, the wall. I'll see you all then.